Is DC the new #1 comic book? Find out here. Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic episode of ComicGains! And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and the princess is on vacation, Her Royal Highness. Hey, princess, hey, have fun time. And then, of course, there's a Coco dog.
Standing in for his Coco.
Standing for a Coco
So you
dog.
can bow and wave to Coco, right? That's a
Paw.
thing. You can do that. Paw and wave.
Paw and paw.
Yeah, alright guys. Today is an extra special episode, and we would love your support because it's Monday, and unfortunately the princess is not with us. She's out traveling the world, looking at all those cons. Going to cons all over. So we got to hold down the fort, and we have a brand new type of episode we want to share with you guys. And this one was really cool, and there's a good reason why we decided to do this. This is Marvel versus DC head-to-head. Who has the better writing staff for the upcoming season? So, end of 2024, beginning of 2025, we'll kind of break down the feature writers for both Marvel and DC and see which one we think is better. Or like, who do we think is going to be more successful? So this should be a fun topic.
Yeah, it should be very fun. I know what else is fun. Having a nice, cold-ish drink.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of talking, so you got to have a lot of drinking.
So I wanted something spritzy. That's the name of it. Sparkling beverage. It has pineapple and orange juice. It is a Trader Joe's brand.
You traitor.
I am a traitor, Joe. Hey, Joe. Go, Joe.
Working on our sponsorship through Trader Joe's.
Not bad at all.
Is it good? What flavor was it?
Tastes like orange and pineapple. Strange.
As well it should. Is it orange pineapple?
Yeah, it is.
That makes sense.
I would have not thought of that. Oh, no one else is strange.
Hanging out with us on
Whatnot.
Almost every Saturday.
Almost.
Yeah, check our listings, bookmark our shows. Princess is almost every Saturday. She will be on this Saturday. I'm not sure the timing, so check her listing, bookmark it. 30-second auctions, dollar starts. The two most fun shows on Whatnot you will ever see. Come kick it. Even if you don't buy anything, it's really fun. If you're always wanted to talk to the princess, that's your best opportunity.
Links are down below.
There you go. All right, guys. Why did we decide to make this video?
Yeah. Why did we decide?
Yeah.
Why?
So as you guys know, we do a lot of comic content. So we're somewhat experts. I wouldn't consider ourselves like maybe experts in the comic book world. Do you consider yourself an expert?
I am the #1 stunner of experts.
Stunning the experts. Anyway, how it broke down is DC is putting out this new initiative called the Absolute Power Initiative, where they're gonna have like a new Ultimate Marvel series where it's gonna restart everything in this new world with like start from scratch from the beginning. And it got me wondering. I haven't really read much DC as of late, and I'd like to find a good place to jump into it. And while I was looking at it, I was amazed by how good are the writers that they got to jump on for this new initiative, Absolute Power.
Okay.
And what that did was make me wonder, like, if they have all these good writers, who is still writing for Marvel? And I told Zach, I'm like, DC seems like they have all the good writers, and Marvel doesn't have anybody left. And I may have been right, maybe not. I was able to break this down by who the featured writers are for Marvel, the top 5 in our opinion, and the top 5 for DC, as well as like what their upcoming works are going to be and what they're most famous for. Okay. So, and then we'll kind of see like who do you guys think has not like the better writers, but who do you think is going to put out like the better books in the upcoming season? I can tell you with the last Eisner Awards, DC won a bunch of awards and Marvel didn't win any. So it's also kind of like a thing going on. So there is some good stuff coming out of Marvel. There's some good stuff coming out of DC, but let's break it down a little bit. We'll show you some books, some ideas, what we think. And like I said, I went to, did a lot of research on online, went to the Marvel website, the DC official website, got who they put down as like their featured artists, or featured writers. I keep saying artists. Featured writers, as well as I visited their like Wikipedia pages and all kinds of other things and get some more information on each of them and see what's going on. So let's kick it off. We're going to do the top 5 for Marvel. I'm making my own sound effects. Do some sound effects for me.
Ba, ba, ba.
Exactly. So we'll start with Marvel. So Marvel, I picked, and this is in no particular order. This is just kind of how I threw them in. So I'm not really saying like this is the best writer for Marvel, but we'll kick it off with Al Ewing. You know who Al Ewing is?
No, I don't know who anybody is.
So I'm more the reader when it comes to comic books, and Zach loves collecting the covers as well as like slab books, the art. So I'll kind of ask him. So you don't know who Al Ewing is?
No,
okay, so
sounds familiar. But
Al Ewing, he's a British writer.
Oh, okay.
So he came over, and his current books that he is making for Marvel. Like currently today, he's writing Venom and Immortal Thor.
I've heard that was a good series.
Yep, as well as he is he's like running this new event called Venom War, which just kicked off. They just released the first book for Venom War. So those are like the three main books he's writing for Marvel. He's best known for series like the Ultimates. So there's like the Ultimates that happens in the 616 universe with like Blue Adam.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of other ones like American Chavez and like which when they're in that other group, not the one from like the Ultimates universe, but the other one. You know, it's like Lightbringer.
Yeah.
That series.
Galactus. Yeah.
That series.
Okay.
Ultimate Hulk, which is probably Immortal Hulk. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Immortal Hulk.
Sort of decent.
Yeah. That's like considered one of the best Hulk's runs of all time. And we only find them when they're dead. It's one of like his other big series, which is like an independent series.
Yeah,
so,
I kind of want to actually read that. That sounds like it could be good.
I read like the first like 10 issues. It was super strange, but I can see why people like it. So pretty decent, right?
Yeah,
pretty
decent.
I mean, he's got some good stuff. He's been around a lot. Like his big claim to fame is definitely Immortal Hulk. That's like his big jam that was like really important. So
all right, who else?
Yeah, number 2, we got Saladin Ahmed, and do you know who that is?
No, Ahmed.
Saladin Ahmed, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully I pronounced that right, but I think so. He's an American writer, and he's actually originally famous for like writing fiction, like not comic book. He was like a really famous like fiction writer in his own right, in his like non-comic book world. And like Marvel approached him was, we'd really like you to try and write a couple books for us. I think you'd be really good at it. And he's like, I'll give it a shot. Like I'll give it a try. So he's relatively new. The current books he is writing for Marvel are Wolverine. He's going to be writing the new Wolverine series, the brand new one that's coming out. So he's going to be the writer, and he's writing Daredevil. Okay. So which has been going on for a while.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's got 2 big books under his belt. His claim to fame is his first book he actually wrote for Marvel was Black Bolt, and it's an award-winning. He immediately won an award for like top book. They turned it into a graphic novel, and then he won a second award for being one of the best graphic novels of the year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He also wrote one of the very good Miles Morales Spider-Man runs. Not the one currently, but the one before that, where they introduced a lot of the big characters.
Okay.
Where he put on the new outfit with the hoodie.
Yeah, that's a cool outfit.
Yeah. And Exiles, the 2018 run, the really famous Exiles run with like the little baby Wolverine and like.
Oh. And I don't remember that one.
The female Captain America.
Oh, I remember that one now.
Yeah. So those are like some of his really big books. He, like I said, he's relatively new, but he like kind of like came into the market just like guns blazing, arms swinging.
Yeah, I mean he's been writing full books before.
Yeah.
Now all he has to do is write this one little story each month. You can put a lot of good content in there.
I like him a lot. I think the Miles, obviously I'm a big fan of Miles, but that was a really good run. A lot of good keys in that book too. So
very cool.
Yeah, exciting. It's an exciting writer. I'm glad he's still around. Next one, big boy one. We got Jonathan Hickman.
Okay, yeah.
You know who that is?
I know
Jonathan
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Killed Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
She left
He did know that. So he's an American writer. His current books for Marvel are Ultimate Spider-Man, which you're actually reading, Zach.
Yeah, I read it.
The Ultimate Spider-Man. He's writing Wolverine's Revenge, which is a book that just is about to come out, which is weird. They're actually going to have 2 Wolverine books. The important thing about Wolverine's Revenge is going to be drawn by Capullo. So that's going to be a big deal. Wow. I mean, the fact that Hickman's writing it and Capullo's drawing it. Cool. He also just wrapped up Gods. So Gods just finished. They just finished the last one on it. Best known for, so his best known books, Secret Wars. Okay. You know that one, right? Fantastic Four, you just said. Avengers. East West.
What? Okay, cool.
Infinity.
Oh, yeah.
His first book he ever wrote for Marvel was Secret Warriors. So that's kind of like what they brought him in to like kind of test him out on that. Did a good job on it. He did the Dawn of X, the entire the first half of the Krakoa series. He actually dropped off about halfway through. Okay. And there's a bunch of stuff. Ultimate Invasion and obviously Ultimate Spider-Man. Said he's currently working on that, but it's already like a hot book. He'll be remembered for forever. So heavy hitter. I would say when it comes to Marvel, it's always good to have like Hickman in their back pocket. I think in recent years, he's been more of like the behind the scenes showrunner for Marvel Comics, but has definitely stepped back in like the last couple of years. He's still there, but I don't think he's like running everything like got his like hands and everything going on.
Right, micromanaging everything.
Yeah, which I mean, a lot of people have done that for them over the years. Like Bendis was a huge one, which was very beneficial for them when Bendis came in. They're like, "Yo, step back. You're running the show. You tell us what's going on. You control all the books." And it worked out really well for them.
Yes. Get back to drawing, Bagley. Get back.
Yeah, right?
Bam.
Next one. This was an interesting one. So, newer guy as well, too. We got Jed MacKay.
Yeah, I know, but Jed MacKay.
Jed MacKay.
I can't say one title he's working on.
Canadian writer. He's from Canada. Good old Great White North.
Our brother of the North.
Mm-hmm. And current books he's working on, he is actually writing the X-Men series.
That's right.
He's writing Avengers.
Oh,
he's writing Moon Knight.
What?
He's writing Doctor Strange, which will then be Doctor Doom. And he just wrapped up Blood Hunt.
That's a lot of writing he has to do.
I thought this was funny. I was able to find good Wikipedia pages on every single one of these writers, except Jed MacKay does not have a Wikipedia page, guys. Someone needs to write one for him to give him, like, that's how new he is, but he's, like, writing more books than anybody else. He clearly has a huge love for comics. You can tell, like, he's read things in the past because he references a lot of things that used to be in there, and I think he's doing a good job. He's best known for pretty much the things that are going on right now. But his main book that he started out with, you will know this one, is Black Cat. So the big Black Cat run that came out, he wrote Black Cat, Taskmaster right off the bat. Those were huge hits. And then Moon Knight and Doctor Strange have been very successful for him. I think he's gone on record saying that Moon Knight is his favorite character of all time. So it makes sense why he's giving it so much justice. It may go down as the best Moon Knight run ever. It's hard to say, but I think a lot of people right now are saying it's probably one of the best ones ever done. So
very nice.
Yeah. These are all good. Last on the list, we've got Gail Simone.
Oh, I know Gail Simone.
You know Gail Simone?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, and she's only writing one book right now that I'm aware of for Marvel. She's doing the new Uncanny X-Men.
Oh.
So that's they revealed two of the big things Marvel revealed over the last year was obviously kicking off Ultimates comics and like revamping the X-Men run. So like X-Men got all its new writers for everything, which most of them are pretty good. I think pretty solid. Gail Simone's a very solid writer. And if you want to know what she's best known for, Birds of Prey.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Secret Six, Wonder Woman, Red Sonja, I ran out of fingers, and Batgirl.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
All really good stuff. She's a really accomplished writer over the years. So couple honorable mentions that I threw in the end there, just so you know, like who's still working on stuff. Amazing Spider-Man is still going on. That's being written by Zeb Wells. I think he has 5 more. They agreed to 5 more issues. It was supposed to end on like 55. And I don't know if they just weren't ready for the next guy to take over, so they asked him to do 5 more. They actually acted like it was like they're like, oh, we're so happy he agreed to do 5 more, even though people don't really dig in this run at all. But Joe Kelly is going to take over for him after that. Zeb Wells had some really good stuff. I don't think Amazing Spider-Man was any of his really good stuff, but he's had some good stuff. And Joe Kelly, obviously a good writer as well. Corey Ziegler is writing Miles Morales and Deadpool right now. He's really relatively new, but doing a good job. Deadpool's so hard to write for. I feel like no one's had a good Deadpool run in like a long time. They've all been pretty bad, so we'll see. And one heavy hitter that's just writing like a solo book, Jason Aaron, is still around. And he's writing Namor, and as far as I can tell, that's it. Just Namor. No, they've only had 1 issue so far.
Why?
I mean, who knows? I mean, he made Conan good.
Yeah.
So, if he can make Conan good, I mean, basically Namor is like Water Barbarian, right?
Yeah, it should go over to Aquaman
should go
next.
well.
do Namor.
You could. I would have put Jason Aaron a little higher on the list, but
if he did more stuff, right?
Also, he's writing for DC, so I didn't want him to weigh too heavy if he's weighing against himself. So he is writing for both at the same time.
Okay. Well, pretty good list.
Going both ways.
Not too bad for Marvel.
It's not bad. This is actually one of the... I was glad I made this list because when I read the DC team, I was like, dude, Marvel has nobody. Like, I know they had Hickman, but I'm like, they have nobody else besides that. And in making this list, I realized that they do have some really good writers and they have some people in their back pocket. So I think they'll be okay. It's just, we'll see. I'm just really worried that they haven't had like a really good book in probably like 3 years. Ultimates is really good. Ultimates is really good. But when you visit their website, and I was telling Zach this, and they have their featured writers, these are the people that they're like most pleased with, they still have Donny Cates on there, which Donny Cates is amazing, and I understand why he's on there, but he hasn't written a book in forever. And like, they're still like, Venom, Donny Cates' Venom's so good. And it's amazing, but it's an old book.
It's over. It's done.
I know, like, where's your new guys you're featuring?
Well, what's it say? You can't live off your laurels.
Rest
right?
on your laurels.
Rest on your laurels.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't know. Yeah, I hope Donny Cates comes back though. I'd love to see. I mean, Al Ewing writing Immortal Hulk and Donny Cates writing Venom is like the greatest thing that's happened to Marvel in the last 10 years. So they're still like pointed. Like, remember that? Remember how good that was?
Remember when we succeeded that one time?
Yeah, Krakoa is really good, but not everybody likes it. So I really liked it. So to each his own, but everybody liked Venom and the Hulk. You have to be a crazy person not to like that. Unless you are a crazy person. All right. We just talked about Marvel. Who else should we talk about now?
We should talk about the big old DC.
DC! Wait, that's like Power Rangers stuff.
Power Rangers. Go.
What does DC stand for?
Detective Comics.
Are you sure?
The more you know. Yeah.
It is true. You're right. Detective Comics. We'll call this one the Detective Comics Bullpen. And like I said, this is in no particular order, but this is kind of one of the things where I was like, whoa, this list is so good right now. We've got number 1 on the list, Chip Zdarsky. Do you know who that is?
I met the person.
You did. You did meet him.
He drew me a nice little picture.
Yeah, he is also a Canadian. And Chip Zdarsky's not his real name.
Oh, what's
his pen name? His real name is Steve Murray.
Oh, that doesn't sound as good as
Chip Zdarsky does sound cool. I don't know how he came up with the Zdarsky name. What is he doing for DC? I almost gave it away.
Batman.
He's writing Batman. So he is writing the ongoing Batman story. He's been writing it for quite a while. It's getting, I think, mixed reviews. I think it's doing well, obviously, but he has a very dark sense of humor and sort of like kind of I wouldn't say goofy writer, but he like writes very like weird stuff. And it depends. Batman, people who love Batman are very like traditional, like they like their stuff to be traditional, and his stuff's a little different, but I think it may catch on with people.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it may catch on with people. What is he best known for? A lot of things. And this is where I think DC differs from Marvel, where their crew is known for a lot more stuff. And Chip is known for Sex Criminals. Remember that?
Yeah, I know Sex Criminals.
Spider-Man Life Story, which is a really cool book that he did, where it's out in his own continuity, where he wanted to see what would happen if Spider-Man was born in the 60s and lived actually until like 2020, and what he would actually be like at 80 years old. And each book is 10 years decade.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, so he actually like grows up that entire time and has to deal with all this stuff. And it's kind of an original story, but uses the same stuff. Daredevil. So he wrote the previous Daredevil that everyone went gaga for, where they introduced like Elektra Daredevil, and like everyone was like, this is the best. Like they're saying like it's up there with Frank Miller Daredevil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Howard the Duck. Yeah, he's the one that brought back Howard the Duck with cool. Like Gwenpool and all that stuff. Yeah. And he apparently wrote a really good Jughead story, but I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna read that.
Sorry. Jughead
it's
Jones.
Cool. It's cool.
So heavy hitter though. Chip's good. He's only doing one book though for them. Next up on the list we got Tom Taylor. Does that ring a bell, Zach?
Tom Taylor.
Taylor.
Don't wait. It does. No, it doesn't.
Okay. Tom Taylor. He is an Australian.
Oh, crikey.
Crikey, yeah. He's an Australian writer. He's been around for a while. It's good. He's been on DC and Marvel doing a bunch of stuff for a long time. So he's kind of coming back. He's currently writing the Titans book
Oh,
for
wow.
DC,
That's cool.
and he'll be taking over Detective Comics. So he'll be soon to take over Detective Comics, which
Which is
is
a big deal.
yeah, which is a big deal. But he's accomplished. So his best known for, he has had a lot of things that were turned into TV shows and movie. Probably one of them, he wrote Neverlanders. That HBO that they turned into like a TV show. I think it got canceled after one season because like Joss Whedon was the director or something like that. But he also wrote Injustice, Gods Among Us.
Okay, that's cool.
And was helping to create the video game as well.
Oh wow.
He wrote Deceased.
The
entire Deceased run.
Big deal.
He wrote All New Wolverine. So Gabby,
23, and Honey Badger.
Yep, he was the one that started this super hot Nightwing run that went over 100 issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the best runs that DC's ever had.
That's pretty impressive.
He also wrote X-Men Red, which I know a lot of people have told us to read that series. I've never read it, but I heard it's very, very good.
I might read it.
He wrote Superior Iron Man as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
a big deal.
he did a lot of big stuff for both sides. Good addition. I mean, already been on the team, but Tom Taylor, heavy hitter for sure. So it'll be exciting to see what he does with Detective Comics. Number 3 for DC, we got Mark Waid.
That does sound familiar.
Do you know who Mark Waid is?
Deadpool?
No.
Wade Wilson?
No.
Mark Waid?
Mark Waid, he's an American writer. Current books he's writing for DC is World's Finest, which is considered their best book right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's their best book. You just don't like the 60s World Finest. Doesn't mean you don't like the...
I still got a bad taste in my mouth ever since I bought that first collection, and over like 50% of it was all World's Finest, and it was worth nothing.
Just because there's no keys in it. But the current one is very hot. Well, if it makes you feel any better, he's leaving World's Finest to take over Action Comics.
Wow.
So he's going to be writing Action Comics as well as...
Big deal, too.
He is currently writing the Absolute Power series, which is leading into that, what's going to be like the Absolute DC Comics. So this is like a bridge period where they're like, here's Absolute Power, and then as soon as this ends, at the end of this year, we'll lead into the new Absolute comic series.
Okay,
so,
very cool.
What is Mark Waid known for? I know you guys are probably like, Zach, I can't believe you don't know all this stuff. He kicked off his run in DC doing Flash, where he did 8 years on Flash.
Ooh,
so you can imagine like how well that was. He then switched over to Captain America, a long run on Captain America for Marvel. Then he wrote a little book called Kingdom Come.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then he went back, or stayed with DC, and then did JLA. He kicked off Year One and Tower of Babel, which were both very acclaimed books. As well as then he did a little run on Fantastic Four. And putting at the end, his current run on World's Finest is just supposed to be magnificent. So it's already an acclaimed run of how good it is. Just some things that he helped create along the way. He wrote the Age of Apocalypse series, as well as created the character Onslaught and Impulse as well.
Oh,
he
did.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he created Impulse. So
I like Impulse.
Massive dude.
I like Impulse.
Mark Waid. So,
cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be exciting. Next one, we got Tom King. You know Tom King? Sounds like Tom Taylor. Tom King.
Tom King. He wrote Batman, right?
He did write Batman.
I remember that one at least.
So this is an interesting one because I didn't realize all this stuff about him. So Tom King, American writer. He actually got into writing comics and then left right away. Like just wrote a little bit and then left to become a CIA counter-terrorist agent after 9/11. So like 9/11 happened and then he quit and joined the CIA to be a counter-terrorist agent in real life. And so like when he decided to come back to comics, one of the first things he wrote was that new series called Grayson. When they're trying to do something cool with Dick Grayson, so they made him like a CIA agent called Grayson, and he used like his own real life experiences to write the character. I don't know if the book was overly successful, but that's one of like the first things he did when he came back. So kind of cool. His current books he's writing right now he is writing Wonder Woman. So he's writing the current Wonder Woman series, which a lot of people weren't sure how that was going to turn out. I think it's doing well from what I hear. He's going to be writing the Trinity series, which is Trinity's, I believe, the first an only daughter of Wonder Woman. It's like Wonder Woman's never had a kid, as like Superman and Batman have both had children.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity is Wonder Woman's kid. As far as I know, that she may have had a kid at some point where like they're like, we don't remember. We don't acknowledge that child.
Yeah, it's not, what's it called? We don't, well, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Bastard child?
Yeah.
And there's another new book that's coming out called Jenny Sparks that she's gonna write. I believe I actually ordered the first issue of that. I'm not sure what. There's like a British flag behind a girl, and he's writing that, and it's a mini series. So he's been known to be really good on mini series, much better than he is on ongoing series. So he has some problems writing ongoing series, and when he does a mini series, they're like really good. So what is he best known for? Well, when he was at Marvel, he wrote the series called The Visions. A very highly acclaimed series called The Visions. He then took over the Batman run, which didn't go too well for him, but he wrote it for a long time. I think eventually kind of pseudo got kicked off of it because people didn't like, he killed like Alfred, and it wasn't like his choice, but he eventually left the run and people were, I think, happier for it. He wrote a very good Mr. Miracle run that a lot of people like. And one of the big ones, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh.
He wrote that series, which was huge. And then he's known for, which I haven't read, it's called Sheriff of Baghdad, which has to do with some of his... It's a comic book, but it's also based on some of his real-life experiences.
As a CIA.
Doing stuff like in Iraq and stuff like that. So I haven't read it, so I don't want to say too much about it. But Tom King, really good. He also... he oversees a lot of things when it comes to like TV shows and stuff that are based on comic books. He helps like advise them on things, so... kind of a big deal. I mean, anyone that writes Batman is kind of a big deal. So that's why 3 people on this list are previous Batman writers. And the last one we're going to talk about is Scott Snyder.
Oh,
you know Scott Snyder's at?
Yeah. Not at the top of my head. No, I meant Scott Snyder. He wrote Batman.
He did write Batman.
He did the New 52 Batman.
Yep, correct. New 52. So he's an American writer, and hasn't been at DC for a little while. He started his own company, and he's doing a bunch of cool stuff there where he gets to keep all the properties made. Well, DC asked him to come back. This is what I'm really excited about. So he is going to be writing the new Absolute Batman series that's coming out. This is probably what I'm most excited for. So, and that's all he's writing for Batman. For DC is only going to be the Absolute Batman. What is he best known for? Well, Zach already spilled the beans. It was Batman, which he's considered in the top 5 like best Batman runs of all time. The New 52 one is up there. A lot of people like the Court of Owls story, and his like Year Zero was pretty good as well as some other stuff. Before he wrote that, he did Detective Comics, which is considered a really good write. It basically was like his audition to write Batman. They were like, dude, this guy's dope. Put him on that. He wrote American Vampires, Witches. He had a good run on Swamp Thing as well as Justice League. He did Dark Knight's Metal and Dark Knight's Death Metal, which are both successful books. So people really like those. He's got a lot of other things that he's done, but those are some of the ones he's best known for. I gave you a couple extras with Marvel, so I might as well give you a couple extras with DC. I only mean it seems fair. Jason Aaron is writing for DC as well. So he's writing Absolute Superman, which I think is a big deal as well, so it's worth mentioning. Jeff Lemire, Jeff Lemire? No. Sweet Tooth.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
He's writing Absolute Flash.
No, my head, no.
Yeah. And Batman and Robin. So he's doing Absolute Flash and Batman. And just to make worthwhile, they do have G. Willow Wilson, who they stole from Marvel. I don't know if they stole her, but she's writing Poison Ivy. Who's the creator of Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, which is cool. A big deal. So, that's pretty much what, like, at least what I thought and what they thought was like the featured writers for both of them. Who do you think's going to have better upcoming books, Zach?
It's very hard to say for sure. Definitely DC has a better lineup of writers from the explanations already shown. But Marvel has a really solid Ultimates line coming out, continuously coming out. So
it's already successful. Too.
Yeah, it's already
so
successful.
We already know that's doing well. Where like this Absolute one could like definitely crash and burn.
Yeah,
there's a good chance. I mean, I'm hoping it's successful, but it could crash and burn.
There ought to be a really good storyline somewhere in all of that with all those great writers.
Yeah,
I would say probably DC will probably come out with another couple good stories with these writers. But I think Marvel might be able to kind of, instead of getting 0 awards, they're going to get like 2 or 3, I think.
Hopefully.
Especially for the Ultimate series, because it's so good. It's so good. Maybe not Blood Hunt, but the Ultimate series.
Blood Hunt was good.
Shots fired. Yeah, but it's not like mind blasting.
It's hard to say, like, with things turning around with, you know, like, hopefully Marvel can turn around the MCU. It seems like they're trying desperately to do it, and they may succeed. Hopefully they succeed. But DC, even though we haven't seen really a DC movie yet under the James Gunn regime, I feel like they're at least leading in the right direction where things could start to, like, really pop off for them. So, I don't know. The other observation I see a little bit, maybe that's just me, is that I feel like Marvel has a bunch of, like, maybe more affordable writers, whereas, like, they're kind of taking a gamble on someone where they're like, you're new and we like what you do, and, like, we want you to, like, try something out for us. You may not have, like, the best or biggest resume, but we want to see what you can do. As, like, where DC is kind of like, you already have a good resume, come work for us, we'll pay you.
Well,
you know what I mean? Yeah, they're almost kind of like taking, like, once you do really good at Marvel, then you can come work at DC and we'll pay you. You know what I mean?
Well, still, yeah.
That's weird, right?
Yeah. It's pretty awesome, though. I mean, it's working out for them. It has been working out for them. I mean, the one thing that's also really awesome is that DC may not be having very good movies that come out, but they have a lot of good cartoon TV shows that come out.
Yeah, they're doing really well with their animated movies. Their animated movies are like second to none. Marvel's got garbage when it comes to animated stuff.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, I would say with the current year coming up, and if you guys know us or know me, like, I mainly read Marvel. I dabble a little bit in other things. Not to say I do definitely read some Image and Boom and Dynamite from time to time. But I may be taking a big jump over and reading this Absolute line and seeing where it is. I've always wanted to, like, get into DC a little bit, and probably the best time would have been, like, New 52. Although I missed my chance on that one. That would have been a good one to hop into. But
2-year thing.
Yeah. But DC resets things so much. It's like, they did New 52, then they did Rebirth, then they did Future State, then they did Dawn of DC, and now we're already switching over to Absolute. So it's kind of sucks, but at the same time, you don't have to be invested so long. You know what I mean? Like, you know that it's going to end in, like, a couple of years, so then you can just, like, get out if you want to get out. So
instead of, like, 1,000 freaking comics of detective comics or action comics or Batman. Yeah, like, it's never going to end.
Well, they don't all really connect either. You know, like, Batman doesn't really, like, connect anymore to, like, the older stuff. Yeah, no. They somehow are able to, like, bring back Superman. They're like, hey, remember all the old Superman stuff actually happened, supposedly. But great. Yeah, with all the cool information, you guys let us know, which one are you more excited about the Marvel upcoming lineup and what the writers have to bring? Or are you more excited about the DC lineup and what they have to bring? I don't know. It's hard to say, but we'd love to hear you talk about it. As usual, guys, do us a huge favor right now. Hit the like button for the princess so she will come back Wednesday. If we don't get enough likes, she may not come back Wednesday. Right?
Yeah, she might not come back. She might just stay in the comic land forever.
Hit the subscribe button. We'd love to see you guys again. And on this one in particular, leave a comment down below. Let us know if you like this sort of topic, you know, deep diving a little bit more into, like, the writers. We may even do one about the artists or something. Zach would have a lot to say about artists that he likes. Would be kind of a fun one to do as well.
Pretty fun.
And you got anything else, Zach?
Yeah, you guys share. How you do that is you write up a nice Wikipedia page for who's this guy?
Jed McKay.
I totally forgot his name.
Wikipedia.
That's what probably happened. Someone probably had the intention of doing it, and now we're reminding you, write a Wikipedia page, and at the very bottom it says, because the gainers love you. Get those gains.
Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember.
Get those Wikipedia gains.
Get
and Comic Gains, of course.